YouTube? This is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your Week 4 start and sit videos for the running back position. Again, hopefully you guys came out with a victory. You guys also checked out our quarterback start and sit videos and, of course, our waiver wire videos. Now, there are going to be some odd games this weekend. Obviously, you've got your Thursday night game. You obviously have your Monday night game, and then there is a game in London at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So, obviously, you folks in the West Coast really have to make sure your lineups are prepped and ready for that. And hopefully you guys are checking out these videos to get you guys prepared for those particular start and sits. So again, this is based off of full PPR and half PPR. Again, if it's standard, hit us up in the comments. We'll be able to help answer those starting lineup questions for you guys. Now, I only have 3 running backs as far as your obvious starts. These are 3 guys that I feel pretty comfortable, even with the matchups, that they'll get you a pretty decent amount of points. Now, obviously, I typically have a lot more running backs in the past, but unfortunately, there are no really, truly bell cow running backs anymore. There's a lot of uncertainty with players like Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon. There's a lot of players that you probably drafted pretty high and early that unfortunately are not performing that you were hoping. Now, I'm not to say sit Jonathan Taylor, but they're just not an obvious start where you may have some other players that you might want to put in there. Again, if you guys do have questions of who you should start, hit us in the comments down below. Or, of course, you can follow us on our socials. We're on Twitter and Instagram. You can always ask questions there. Now, as far as my first running back I have as a good start, it's going to be Austin Eckler. Now, normally I have Eckler as a must start every single week, but as of lately, he has not been performing very well. This is a great matchup going against Houston Texans. Khalil Herbert, who filled in for Montgomery last week, had an amazing week, over 150 rushing yards, had been phenomenal in that game, and I think he'll actually do pretty well this week as well, filling in Montgomery. But the Texans are also allowing 29.7 points to the running back. And again, they're averaging over 150 yards allowed to the running back position. So if there's going to be a turnaround game, it's going to be this game for Eckler. And I think this will be the one for him, especially since the fact that Herbert's still dealing with his injury and they're going to have to rely on him. And I think they'll be ahead enough in this game that Eckler will perform and get you the points that you're expecting. Now, another running back I have as a good start this week is Alvin Kamara. If he does not perform very well this week, it may be time to possibly start thinking about what to do next with him. They're going against the Minnesota Vikings, who are allowing over 110 rushing yards to the running back. They're also averaging a touchdown allowed per game. So he should have at least a touchdown. It may be Ingram who might possibly steal it, but I think it will be Kamara this one. They're also allowing 27.8 points to the running back position as well. Now, Jamal Williams, who played last week, who got the majority of the carries and touches due to DeAndre Swift being hurt, had a great game actually. And this game's in London, and typically teams that are traveling to London defensively don't perform really well. So I like this particular spot for Alvin Kamara. This should be his turnaround game. Now, the last running back I have as a good start is Jamal Williams, who I mentioned already. Jamal Williams is going against Seattle Seahawks. He should be the bell cow, obviously, with Swift possibly out for a few weeks. So Jamal Williams is going to get a lot of carries, which he was already starting to do. He was getting a lot of the red zone action. Seahawks are allowing 25.7 points to the running back position and allowing over 130 rushing yards as of right now. So not only has he been doing a really good job, but again, he's been getting a lot of the red zone carries as well. And this offense has actually been doing a phenomenal job. Hopefully St. Brown plays. We'll see how that goes. But they've been getting down the field, which has allowed Jamal Williams to get those red zone chances and opportunities. He scored already 4 touchdowns this season. So I like him a lot. Now, the first running back I have as a good sit is going to be Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, he has performed pretty well in fantasy, but if you look at actually deep down at what he's been doing, he is not getting a lot of the touches. McKinnon is getting touches, right? He's stealing the ball. You got Pacheco, who's stealing the ball. Edwards-Helaire has scored, which has allowed him to be actually a pretty good fantasy running back. But this is a matchup where I don't like him. He's going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are the best at the run defensive side. They've also allowed the fewest points with 11.6 points. They held both Dylan and Aaron Jones last week to under 7 points each. So again, this is a team that has been really good against the run, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire has not been getting the touches. Unfortunately, has been struggling, and he's not going to perform really well in this one. If he's going to, it's because of PPR and, of course, a possible touchdown in there. But I'm not feeling 100% perfect with this matchup. Jeff Wilson's another running back I don't like this week, going against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have done a great job holding teams under 70 rushing yards. On top of that, with Jimmy G back in the lineup, a lot of teams are going to really focus on the run, and that's going to hurt him a lot this week. Jeff Wilson, only advantage he has is the fact that he really doesn't have anybody stealing a lot of the shares from him. So this is going to be a chance where maybe if he gets a nice big run or maybe gets some red zone action, he might get you into the double digits. But the Rams are holding running backs under 12.2 points. So this is, again, a really tough matchup for them. And this could end up being more of a shootout than a game where the 49ers are up and allowing to run the ball. So, again, I don't like Jeff Wilson a lot this week. There are definitely better options. The last running back I have as a good sit is going to be J.K. Dobbins. Now, Dobbins started last week. Finally, he was able to get his first game in, and it's been a while for him. I don't expect him to be phenomenal yet, probably for another few weeks. Plus, on top of that, going against the Buffalo Bills, who are allowing a really, really low of 14.1 points to the running back, and they're also holding running backs under 50 rushing yards. On top of that, I really believe this is going to be more of a shootout against the Bills, where I think both Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, the receivers are going to perform, the tight ends are going to perform. But they did allow 2 touchdowns to Edmonds last week, which is what helped J.K. Dobbins, or that could possibly help J.K. Dobbins. But again, being that this is like his second game in over 400 or 500 days since he's last really played in the NFL, I'm not really starting him this week. Now, as far as some good sleepers, I have Breece Hall, not Michael Carter. I think he's going to be a little bit more explosive against the Steelers. Steelers have allowed over 120 rushing yards, also allowing 25.8 points to the running back position as well. Breece is in a split share right now with Michael Carter, but I just believe Michael Carter isn't as explosive as Breece Hall, and I feel like if there's going to be a time to shine, this is going to be the one that Breece Hall kind of puts himself a little bit of that 1A instead of the 1B, so I like him a lot as far as a good sleeper goes. He's definitely a good flex play if you guys have him. Another flex play, or maybe a low RB2, is going to be Devin Singletary going against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, one thing the Ravens have allowed is a lot of receptions. Ravens are pretty good at stopping the run. They're keeping most backs under 100 yards rushing, but they're allowing 26.5 points to running backs because of allowing 9 catches per game. 9 catches per game is huge. Last week, Singletary had 9 receptions, which helped him have a really phenomenal game. This is going to be a game where he's probably going to get 6 to 7 targets, maybe even more, which I think is going to help get him into the 15 to 16 point range again. So I like him as a good flex play. So those are my start sits and sleepers for you guys for the week 4 edition for running backs. Again, if you have not already, make sure you check out our quarterback position as well. If you guys, again, do have questions, hit us up in the comments down below. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure you hit subscribed and that notification bell is on. That way you guys are notified every time we drop a video. Stay tuned. We'll be dropping our wide receiver and tight end start videos as well. Again, make sure you guys are ready for the Thursday night and the early Sunday games for you guys. If you guys do have any questions, or if you guys want to follow us on socials, hit us up in there below. Obviously, the links are down there in the description. Again, thank you guys so much. Check out our other videos. Check you guys next time.